Hello and welcome to Hindu newspaper editorial analysis. Today on September 14th, 2020, the Hindu newspaper has written a lead editorial on the on deputy speaker vacancy in Lok Sabha. It says that the second chair must be offered to opposition parties to maintain the conventions of parliamentary practices in India. Deputy Speaker of Lok Sabha has been fell vacant for the past 1 year. So ever since the second term of Narendra Modi government started in 2019, till now there is no deputy speaker position. No person has been elected as deputy speaker to the Lok Sabha. If you look at the Indian independent history of the parliament, there was there was no time when this position was kept such a long time vacant. So actually deputy speaker, it is a constitutional post. So what the constitution says about deputy speaker, article 93 of the constitution says that the house of the people shall as soon as may be choose two members of the house to be respectively speaker and deputy speaker thereof, and so often as the office of speaker or deputy speaker becomes vacant, the house shall choose another member to be speaker or deputy speaker as the case may be. So the constitution article 93 clearly says that whenever the position of a deputy speaker falls vacant or the position of speaker falls vacant, it has to be filled in with another member to occupy those seats. So constitution very clearly what we call very clearly views that no, it shall not be kept vacant for lengthy times, because a deputy speaker, suppose if a deputy speaker is offered to opposition parties, then the debate and would be what we call very meaningful, and the opposition parties would have feel that they are not deprived of their opinion being stifled or suppressed by the ruling party speakers. Are so it's a kind of what we call the opposition party would have that confidence if a member from their own opposition ranks go and occupy the position. Actually, this deputy speaker position has been what we call the history says that it was only in the year 1977 when the prime minister, when the Janata Party came into power, and Prime Minister Morarji Desai was in office. Only during that period, only during Morarji Desai's ruling, that the first deputy speaker position has been offered to the opposition parties. Actually, he was so magnanimous that he had offered the deputy speaker position to Congress party in 1977. But soon after, in 1980, when Mrs. Indira Gandhi came to power, she did not offer this deputy speaker position to any opposition party members. Neither her son, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, who came back to power with 2/3 majority, also did not offer this deputy speaker position in 1984. So therefore, it's not that it has become a convention, but only the opposition party rulings came in the country only only during those times only. This convention of giving it to opposition parties has started. So it was in VP Singh government that 1989 again he started giving it to opposition parties. So this election of deputy speaker in the Lok Sabha used to take place as soon as possible as the house convenes after getting elected. Right from first Lok Sabha till 1989, if you look at the time frame, if you look at the time that the house has taken to appoint a deputy speaker, See, from first Lok Sabha onwards till 1989, till VP Singh government, it took just 17 days to have this deputy speaker position filled in. But only in during the VP Singh regime in 1989, electing deputy speaker took 91 days. Then subsequently, when PV Narasimha Rao came to power, he has reduced that to 35 days to appoint a deputy speaker. Then follows the Kichidi governments of what we call Mr. Vajpayee, Devegowda, I.K. Gujral. When these three people were prime ministers, it took 51 days to elect a deputy speaker. Then when Vajpayee government came with good majority in 1999, it just took 7 days. So within a week's time, Vajpayee had appointed has elected okay, deputy speaker to the house. Then subsequently Manmohan government, when it came to power in his first term and also in second term, in both terms deputy speaker was elected within 7 days. But in 2014, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi came to power as Prime Minister and the alliance of India has come into ruling, it took them 70 days to decide on electing a deputy speaker, and they have elected Thambi Durai of AIADMK party. So Narendra Modi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi took 70 days to appoint in his first term, to elect in his first term the deputy speaker, and in his second term, which began in 2019, even after 1 year also, the 17th Lok Sabha could not elect a deputy speaker. See, deputy speaker position is a constitutionally mandated post, and it's not what we call good democratic practice to keep it lying vacant for such a long time. Unusual situation is in the spotlight as the monsoon session of Parliament begins Monday, and Rajya Sabha is scheduled to elect its deputy chairman. So the vacancy of deputy speaker appears to be less of a lapse and more of a calculated delay by the ruling party, the Hindu newspaper writes. It further says that on September 9, the Congress leader in the Lok Sabha, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, wrote to Speaker Om Birla to initiate the process of electing a deputy speaker. He says that either by election or consensus, the process of picking up the deputy speaker should be started. This is what Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary has written to Lok Sabha Speaker Mr. Om Birla on September 9th. Mr. Chaudhary also recalled the convention of offering the post to the opposition. So he is saying that there is a convention of offering this post to the opposition, but this convention started when? It started only when Morarji Desai government was there in power. Mr. Birla has been non-committal in his public comments on the issue, and the BJP has remained silent. Soon after the 2019 general election, the government had made some efforts to fill the position. So not that the NDA government led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi did not make any effort to fill this post. So they have asked, they have talked to their allies. First, after Congress party, the maximum number of seats were with DMK. Then comes YSR Congress party. So NDA asked YSR Congress party to suggest, or what we call to suggest a name for the deputy speaker position. But somehow the YSR Congress party, with its inherent flaws and inherent weaknesses of what we call exposing at the national scene or opposing or making their point of view known to other powers that be. So what you say, they have got their own reasons not to toe an aggressive line or not to be in the limelight as such on the national scene. We are not going into that in detail, but YSR Congress party has got a baggage and it has got reservations. So it says that they have said that no, they will not. They are not a game for it. They will not send any names for. They are not interested in putting their party candidate as deputy speaker. So there are several hopefuls in YSR Congress party and who are equally brilliant, equally good at managing the house. Had YSR Congress party taken this offer, then some person from YSR Congress party should have now become a deputy speaker in the Lok Sabha. Of course, they have missed a chance. So they say that the Hindu newspaper writes that YSR party turned down the offer of taking the deputy speaker of the Lok Sabha because it was protesting against the government for not according special status to Andhra Pradesh by occupying the position of a deputy speaker. Special status to Andhra Pradesh has been what we call a sporadic slogan that YSRCP raises. Their commitment, of course, has to be seen much in action than what we call it is now becoming just a plaudit. But further, what prevented YSR Congress party from taking the offer of this deputy speakership is that if they share power with NDA government led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, they thought that they will distance from the minorities, Muslim minorities. Muslim minorities is a big chunk of voters, and the appeasement politics, which they call it as welfare politics. Okay, welfare politics in Andhra Pradesh. So this welfare politics, they are spending thousands of crores of money on welfare. So they do not want to antagonize with the Muslims, and that's why they have not taken up this offer. Not only that, even if you look at the surreptitious, why surreptitious? Openly, YSRCP has been supporting BJP and BJP government on several occasions. They have voted for citizenship amendment bill. They have voted several other bills, okay, which were also not in the interest of Muslims. So be that as may be, so Narendra Modi government has offered it to opposition parties, and the offer was to YSR Congress party, and they have turned it down. In Rajya Sabha, tomorrow, of course, on Monday, the elections are going to take place, and JDU's Harivams, who has been re-elected to the House, is seeking re-election as deputy chairman as the ruling combines candidate. So he is the official candidate of the ruling party. He had defeated Congress leader BK Hariprasad 125 votes to 105 votes in elections in August 2018. The ruling combine, despite not having simple majority in Rajya Sabha, has managed to win crucial votes several times over in the past. This time around, BJP leaders have claimed the support of 140 members for Mr. Harivams. So the BJP government has been very active in Rajya Sabha, even though they do not have numbers to get the bills passed. Their floor management has come in for good appreciation from all quarters, and they have picked up some very good candidates who are very good at lobbying and maneuvering and enlisting the support when it is required for seeing through the bill to get voted favorably for Narendra Modi led government. Rashtriya Janata Dal's Manoj Jha is a very scholarly person, erudite member in the opposition, is the joint candidate of 12 parties for the post. 12 opposition parties come together, have thought of putting Manoj Jha of RJD as their candidate. There was confusion within the opposition ranks on whether the contest was worth it, whether the contest for deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha is worth it, given the pandemic situation prevailing in the country. And it is also doubtful that how many of the Rajya Sabha members would turn up tomorrow for voting, actually, because most of them are keeping themselves away from the capital because of the serious nature of the COVID pandemic. Bahujan Samaj Party, which has remained a reluctant opposition party, unlikely to be different this time. BJP has taken its overwhelming parliamentary majority as a justification for disregarding not only the opposition but also the parliamentary conventions. With brute majority, the Narendra Modi government is giving a go by to parliamentary conventions. BJP's preeminence has also devastated opposition, which is strong to muster a coherent and united response. Election by consensus of the opposition MP as Deputy Speaker of Lok Sabha will be a course correction. So at least now the Prime Minister Narendra Modi must give a very liberal thought of electing Deputy Speaker to Lok Sabha at least by consensus, and this consensus candidate must be from the opposition parties to preserve and protect the constitutional conventions for the posterity, for the coming generations. The government should be magnanimous. The government should be magnanimous. They should not degenerate into playing petty politics, but they should be magnanimous, and the opposition parties also should be creative in dealing with this issue. So therefore, if a consensus candidate is picked up from the opposition parties, the parliamentary conventions would be carried on, and it would give kind of a good gesture that the Prime Minister has upheld the constitutional mandates and the parliamentary conventions in the country. Thank you.